I can't do this anymore.
They end up having a torrid nun affair.
Greetings, movie fans. You're all very, 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 very welcome to the Big Reviewski with Omniplex Cinemas and my Omnipass. My name is Eoghan Doherty, and it is absolutely exhilarating to be here with you for yet another year of movie loving. There's going to be excitement, there's going to be drama, there's going to be tears, there's going to be laughter, there's going to be more tears, there's going to be thrills, there's probably going to be more tears, and the show each week is probably going to be mainly one or most of us crying. So you can look forward to that. I'm joined by two fellow film friends who almost love movies as much as they love being here doing the Big Reviewski as well.
So much so that we want to cry all the time.
So much so.
Yeah.
It's Rory, Cashin and Paul Moore. Give it up, everybody, for them.
I'm applauding myself. I'm applauding you, Rory. You applauding me?
Yeah.
I thought it would be applauding myself, which is a really sad thing to do.
It's actually lovely to see you both again. How are you?
Good, yeah. I feel good about
That's class.
That break did him well, because he wasn't feeling good before that.
No,
now
yeah.
he's just...
As you can tell, I spent a lot of time over the break learning new
Not
words.
using words. How are you, Paul? Are you also good?
I am super califragilisticexpialidociously good.
Nice,
That's good.
okay.
Show off.
Any New Year's resolutions?
Make a
you're allowed.
competent version of this show, one episode. That's
Okay,
all I
well,
want.
this is it.
Yikes.
This is like clean slate. First show of 2020. We had a wee bit of a break.
I
over
liked
the
your preview
festive
as well. I
period.
wasn't here for the preview. It was good. It kept me ticking over for those Christmas weeks.
Getting that Big Reviewski hit into you. Happy days. By the way, I'm also
Lurgy.
terminally. I have a bad dose of the lurgy.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's contagious through the screen or through your ears as well, unless I'm right beside you, spluttering into them. But yeah.
Don't care for that word.
What?
It's spluttering.
Spluttering. Yeah.
Maybe that's actually how you say it.
All right, okay. If you would like to get in touch to let us know how excited you are that we're all back, or if you've got any New Year's resolutions as well, you can tweet us at Big Reviewski, or you can get in touch on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to the show anywhere you get your podcasts, and also on YouTube as well. That's great. We're off to a flyer.
Or if they've got medicine for you, apparently, yeah.
If you have any drugs that you can please send me.
We always put a call out for drugs, don't we? Yeah, between you and Justine.
What do I have to do? I have to
Just
put a disclaimer out?
yes.
Hello. My name is Eoghan Doherty, and I have to say I do not actually want anybody to send me any drugs.
Well, like
thanks.
they can send you drugs, just medicinal.
Medicinal, yeah, that's what I was talking
My
about.
concern is that we'll come into the office to a big bag of heroin.
Class A medicinal
See,
drugs.
folks, that's why you never make a resolution, because it's already broken now. This
Yes,
episode's
I
done,
apologise.
so yeah.
Please don't put any drugs
We've got
in the
another
post.
51 of these to get through. That's going to be fun.
Anyway, it is brilliant to be back. There are loads of class movies out already. Things that came out whenever we were off. Little Women
Was great.
Cats as well, which
Also
was
came out.
insane. And everybody, speaking of new words that you learned, jellicle.
None the wiser.
Say it. Say the word jellicle.
No, I don't know what no. Like, do we have any idea what it means?
No. Are you a jellicle cat, Paul?
It's Yellicle, I pronounce.
Yeah, it's a silent J.
yeah.
What else came out? Oh, we will be talking about coming up later on in the show. JoJo Rabbit and The Gentleman, both of which came out just around New Year, so we'll be having a look back at those as well. We also have tickets to give away to Michael B. Jordan, and we've got tickets to Michael B. Jordan.
Sorry, my man crush, Michael B. Jordan's new film. You have to
Of
put
course,
that in,
that's we're legally obliged to say
There's
that.
a lot of your men crushes.
Men crushes, Jamie
on
Foxx.
this episode. And
You?
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika, Rory, Jamie, Michael B. Jordan.
Your top three.
Yeah.
I'm in some interesting company there.
We will have tickets to give away to Just Mercy as well, so stay tuned for that, as well as the cast and director of brand new World War I movie, 1917. So that's all very exciting, all still to come. But first up, as ever, why break with tradition? It's the big question on the Big Reviewski, and over to Rory Cashin for the first big question.
You can splutter it out there. You can do it.
2020.
Don't splutter.
Don't splutter.
Please. Yeah, so we did the preview. That was the last episode. The 10 movies we're most anticipating in 2020, which I was sad you weren't here for.
I watched
Yes.
I watched it back to front, inside out, and upside down.
You probably
if
shouldn't watch
possible.
it back to front. It won't make any sense.
Yes.
You can do it in anticipation for like most, and then you can go back. And I've probably worked you
We're
know
just
enough.
going to be talking backwards the whole time.
It's no different than what I usually hear from him anyway. So
Gibberish from over here.
So, like, we all know the biggies that are coming in the
Yes.
next...
Top
most
Gun.
of the biggies that are coming in the next 12 months, but I wanted to know what is the non-blockbuster that you're most excited about? So
obviously we don't know how any movie's going to perform. So none of them have like busted any blocks as of yet.
no, but like you can guess.
Yeah, you can guess. Like
Yeah.
Bond is going to be massive.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious
Any
47.
Pixar film.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Tennis.
Tenet.
Oh, Tenet. I was like, tennis. Tennis will be big during the summer. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Tennis might be too. Like it could be a game.
Who
on.
knows? Who knows? But what did you go for then?
I went with Benedetta.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's a non-blockbuster. That's why we're here.
That's great.
It's to
That's
school you.
super.
There's a still of it there.
There's a picture.
Oh, I think
Religious.
I know what this is. Did
Of
you tweet?
course.
Did you tweet about
Of
this?
course I
know
did.
exactly
What
what
did you
this
tweet
is.
about
This is the
this?
most Rory Cashin pick ever.
Okay.
For one reason and one reason only.
So it's written and directed by Paul Verhoeven,
Okay,
you go.
there's your reason. That's it.
who, RoboCop, Total Recall, Starship Troopers,
Showgirls.
basically it's the Showgirls, and L, which I think was his last.
L was great.
Was his last movie.
And the black was it Black Book? He wrote Black Book.
was,
Yeah, that's right.
was him as well. So it's the same screenwriter as L, and it tells the story of a French nun in
Oui.
the 17th century
Oui.
who begins to have some profoundly erotic visions.
Rory.
Told you this is a Rory pick.
What is
I didn't
it?
even write
the
this.
First
I didn't
show
write this
of
movie.
2020. and
I
we're
think
off.
my resolution is just to really just
Be you.
be as sexual
You
as I
be
can
you.
for the
Yeah.
rest of the
You
year.
just can't help it.
Listen.
You speak your truth, Rory.
So Charlotte Rampling is in it, and nobody else in the cast list that I was like, I don't know who any of these people are.
Okay.
So I'm guessing they're all relatively newcomers.
Is this basically Showgirls in a convent?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, then I'm in.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because she ends up like
Elizabeth Berkley's there?
having
No.
making a friendship with another nun to try and get to the source of the
Making
erotic.
a friendship.
That's what I do. Make friendships. Make friends, and then I'm friends with them. So she's a friend with another nun, and they try to get to the bottom of her erotic visions, and she ends up.
I can't do this anymore.
They end up having a torrid nun affair. So
Sorry, so this is Benedetta?
Benedetta,
And when is it
TBC. I would guess close to the end of
after
the year.
dark?
Yeah.
At some point after dark is when
Yeah,
it's coming
this
out.
is later.
Was that
later.
not the most Rory Cashin answer
That
ever?
is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I have not heard of this movie, and I am super duper excited. For anybody who's listening on the show today, there is a still from it, which is basically a bunch of nuns in a convent, but they're all like kind of working away, maybe at spools and looms, working with some linen.
Got some nice arches there too.
Yeah,
some nice
exactly.
architecture.
Buttresses.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's a great one to look forward to. Happy
I
days.
think
So
so.
keep us. You're dead right. I feel like my choice is
I'm not
completely
looking
pathetic.
I'm looking
compared
forward to
yours
the week
now.
when that's been reviewed already.
So the non-blockbuster. I'm assuming that it's going to be
Oh,
a
non-blockbuster. I picked the non-blockbuster.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
great. Fucking, like, straight away.
See, you
Go
just-
on, give yourself a
See,
massive
you just
tick
change
for
a
that.
letter. That's the thing. You
it.
change
Is
one
that
letter.
why you
yeah,
picked this
yeah.
question
There you
No,
and that
just-
movie? So that literally just came to you
Yeah.
there now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
In a
think
vision, in an erotic
peaked,
vision I had.
we've peaked about 10 minutes into show one of 2020. So
Yeah,
good work.
last year was the year of bridge jokes. So every week
They
this
were
week
great,
there has to be
yeah.
a nun
Nun
joke
jokes.
or some
Okay.
kind of sexual.
You'd be none too
convent.
pleased if there's none on the show, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Starting.
Anyway,
It's
so
starting.
the movie I've gone for, actually, I gave it a wee shout out in our preview of 2020 already, but I don't think it's going to like completely break the box office. But I was looking around to see which directors are working, what have they got coming out, which actors, who am I particularly excited about, and I can't help myself, but I just love Tom Hanks. One of the nicest men in Hollywood, obviously. But his that's
Saving
his
Private
brand new
Ryan's coming
film
out.
is
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan. You can see the picture there.
Welcome to the Big Reviewski 1998.
Yeah. The reason I've picked this picture is because for his brand new movie, which is coming out on the 8th of May, it's Tom Hanks back on a boat. He's on a wee boat there, and back in World War II, which, as we said before, is always a good thing. Not World War, although we are all probably going to die with everything that's going on at the moment.
Topical humor for,
Yeah,
for a
exactly.
movie show.
But there's no images or teasers or anything available for Greyhound, his brand new movie, which tells a story. He plays a US Navy commander who's actually on his first wartime mission, and he has to safely lead a group of Allied boats through troubled waters, basically, which are being hunted by packs of Nazi U-boats. So you have Tom Hanks, Stephen Graham, and Elizabeth Shue as the three leads in the movie as well.
He would have cast Graham in Band of Brothers as well. Yeah,
Stephen
Stephen Graham was in
in
Band of Brothers, yeah.
Holy moly.
And Tom Hanks produced it, didn't he? Yeah.
He did, yeah. So we've had Tom Hanks at sea before with Captain Phillips.
That was great.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And we've had him in World War II before with
Yes.
Saving Private Ryan. What do you get when you cross Captain Phillips and Saving Private Ryan?
Captain Ryan.
Same
Yeah.
with Captain Ryan.
Greyhound, exactly. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Justine, be curious, are any dogs in this film and do they make it through okay? We'll have to know.
Great
We'll have to wait,
questions.
you know.
I guess we'll find out. One of the...
We know there's no dogs in the still of Saving Private Ryan. So.
Yeah. In this picture of a completely different movie, there are no dogs. There was one thing I did check out. He's actually the screenwriter for it as well, Tom Hanks.
No
is.
way.
So I had to look
Oh.
back through all his movies to see he must have written some of his movies before. He wrote That Thing You Do, which
Yeah.
is a lovely wee film.
He directed
right?
it too, yeah. Charlize Theron at the Golden Globes, because I completely forgot she was in that. That was like her first role. He cast her in it.
Like guacamole. But he also, so that's a good sign, but he also wrote one other movie in his entire career. Larry Crown, which is one of the worst films I think I've ever seen.
Yikes.
Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts. So it's tough. We don't really know what way it's going to go. But Greyhound is going to be coming out in May. Very excited to see it. And it's in post-production.
Is he directing this too?
No, he's not. But they're in post-production at the moment. So hopefully we'll be getting a teaser footage relatively soon in the poster as well.
So he's working on an Apple show for this sequel to Band of Brothers 2, which I know the Pacific came after. But he's also going back with another Stephen Ambrose book. So he's going to be busy in World War II this year, Tom.
And he's got that other WWII movie.
Oh yes, one where it's basically like a robotic version of Castaway,
Yeah.
where it's like him, last man on earth or something, and he's got a robot as a best friend as well. Called
See, he made Friendship.
He Made Friendship.
Not a reason.
It makes perfect sense.
Not a
though.
reason to like
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Paul, what did you go for?
I went for something very different, which I'm really excited about. And oddly, I was really looking forward to this. Saw a lot of headlines about it, but deliberately didn't read anything about it because I don't want to know anything until I watched the trailer only about 3 days ago, because I know this guy, the director, always deliver. I went for Parasite by Bong Joon-ho, the Korean filmmaker. And if you know any of his stuff, Snowpiercer, massive fan of Snowpiercer, one of the most underrated sci-fi films, I think, in the last decade. He did The Host, unbelievable monster film as well. But he's very good at working in different genres. Memories of a Murder, great South Korean film. But there's always a whipped in a little subtext in it. Like you could say The Host is just a monster movie, but it's not really. It's kind of an allegory about North Korea and South Korea. Same with Snowpiercer. Like the action was great, but it was also like one of the best examinations of like class system and how it works and stuff like that. I thought it was fantastic. And Parasite, basically, it looks kind of like a Dickensian drama with modern day Korea. Basically, a poor family who with an educated boy in it sees an advertising for this rich family who need a tutor. So the boy fraudulently claims he's from Harvard or Oxford, makes this diploma, goes into the rich family, and everything seems nice. But then they start to play really wicked games with him. So you think he's deceiving them, but then what I've heard about it, I haven't read anything because I don't want to know anything about it. Saw the trailer, but he won. You see him there with Mr. Tarantino. For anyone who's can't see it, he won the Golden Globe there for Best Foreign Film. I have a suspicion, and I haven't seen it yet. It could actually might sneak in the Oscars list, maybe for actual feature.
I'd say it could, yeah.
I think it actually might just squeeze in there as one of the 10, which, as you know, is rare for a foreign language film. And I love the point he made when he won the Golden Globes. Like,
It was a brilliant point, yeah.
Like the biggest barrier in cinema is the 6 inches of subtitles at the bottom, which people for some reason can't get past the mental block of seeing a foreign film. But no, his CV, every film I've seen of him has done. Even Okja, do you see the one that went to Cannes a few years ago, the Netflix one? That was heartbreaking. He's just a very, very good director, and everything I've kind of seen headlines in your Twitter feed, but I deliberately don't want to know anything about it. It's out in February, and I think it's going to knock me away when I see it. Yeah,
Brilliant, excellent. Because I know it has had a release in the States already, and as we were saying, it's already getting a brilliant reaction. And clearly, he's been picking up awards for it as well. And everybody who has seen it is raving about it as well. So no, can't wait for that. When did you say February time? It's
February,
coming out?
yeah.
Okay.
So it's almost nearly. I think that was released in like October in America or something like that. So it's a long while to make the gap, but I've been patient. I don't want to know anything about it aside from I only watched the trailer there about last week because I know just based on his CV alone and what I've seen and what it's in award season now, so that's usually a good sign.
Good stuff.
And Korean films has probably been the most consistent consistent country for quality, I think, in like the last 10, 15 years. Like, everything I've seen has been great.
So we got Parasite, Greyhound, and Nun Showgirls.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Rory Cashin. Okay. So, yes, do get in touch and let us know what non-blockbusters you're looking forward to going to see in 2020. Or?
Non-blockbusters.
Yeah. There's that joke again. Now it's time for the big trailer on the Big Reviewski. And Paul, you were mentioning The Host there, which is a brilliant monster movie. We did have a brilliant monster movie back in 2018 with A Quiet Place. And this trailer was released last week. It's A Quiet Place Part 2. So we all have to just keep our voices down.
Will the sound guy think it's broken?
He'd still be murdered, probably, with just saying like this.
Even whispering like this. We're not supposed to say anything, really. So Emily Blunt is back with the two excellent child actors, Noah Jupe and Millicent Simmons, the two kids in the Abbott family. And basically following on from the first movie, they have to venture out into the terrifying world, basically. Like, the world's terrifying at the best of times, anyway. This one just happens to be populated by big, giant, horrific monsters as well. Let's take a little look at A Quiet Place, Part 11.
Oh, I see what you did there.
It's got the two.
No, I got it, yeah.
Yeah, because I said I'm making a joke about the...
Oh, it was a joke.
What is going on? It's okay, baby. It's okay. Mom? Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. That's Dad. Okay. That's Dad. Dad. Where? Mom. Oh my God.
Coming out on the 20th of March, A Quiet Place Part 2, directed by John Krasinski again.
Is he in it? Is he in the trailer?
So, basically, the start of the trailer seems to go back in time.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with day one, and it's our first glimpse of the creatures, the monsters in it. And whenever they're driving up the street, the kid shouts, "There's Dad!" I think it's like the dad's Jeep and stuff as well. So I guess we'll find out, because it's hard to know whether they're going to spend a lot of time kind of doing flashbacks and going into the past as well, or whether it's just going to be maybe just a little bit at the start as well. Of course, the really massive talking point, especially here in Ireland, is the fact that Cillian Murphy has joined the cast, and he's obviously just incredible in everything he does anyway, but he looks the part here. And Paul, you were saying, he reminds you of that completely haggard, dystopian...
28 Days Later vibe,
28 Days
I love
Later.
the way they introduced him as well. You only saw his eyes.
Yeah.
So kind of like if you ever saw Sunshine, he had the scariest eyes ever. Like, he's good in this type of stuff.
And it seems like they're going down the path of maybe the real monsters are the other humans we met along the way.
Yeah.
But
there are
basically-
gigantic monsters in it
But
too.
there are because I know, actually, speaking of tweets, Rory, that you put out, you had a really good observation about in the opening of the trailer, in the clip we were just looking at, that moment when the bus is right up against their car and
That's scary enough. She's
of
trying to
course,
escape
yeah.
an out of control bus, and then
The hand.
out comes a hand.
yeah, and
A
she
big
doesn't
monster
see it
hand.
because she's turned around, and then so the audience are aware of it. So it's really well done. So if the film is hopefully packed with like beautiful, creepy moments like that, there, I think we're in for a treat.
And it's all done kind of Children of Men single take style as well. So
Yeah,
you can see already the progression Krasinski's made as a director.
definitely.
And he's got. It looks like he's got a bit more money in it
Yeah,
as well. There's
yeah.
some big like open shots of deserted bridges and stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and one of the main things from the previous, one of the scariest things from the previous movie was the Emily Blunt scene in the bath and giving birth as well. And now, well, as you can see from the trailer, she's got the baby. It's like, how do you keep a baby quiet whenever there are killer monsters around as well? So, so I guess we'll find out. So that's coming out 20th of March, so not too long to wait, which is
Can't
happy
wait.
days.
I love as well the story. Cillian Murphy loved the first film so much, he emailed John Krasinski, and then they stayed in touch and he said, do you want to be in it? Yeah.
Is
That's
that how it happened?
Genuine, yeah.
That's incredible, because I've been emailing John Krasinski for ages and nothing has come off that.
Rory and him are good mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told him
twice
now.
Told him he has a house in Cork and everything John Krasinski does.
He does, yeah.
He genuinely does.
Yeah.
Yeah, family house in Cork. Rory goes there often.
You weren't invited?
Delighted for you both. That's brilliant. So, Quiet Place 2. Or Quiet Place Part 2. Part 2, so I presume we're getting more chapters, more parts as well, potentially.
I mean, that's... Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say if they put the part 2, they're implying a few more probably to go. I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see what it, like in terms of like actually building a world around it as well and stuff. Potentially.
Yeah.
You don't seem convinced?
I don't know. I think there's just something like when someone puts like parts and also it's in Roman numerals, you're like, notions.
Oh, you don't like, so you don't like the title of it?
No,
basically?
actually, I do. It's just like it's a horror sequel, like Big Grip,
Okay.
part 11, as you said.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Okay.
but I'm also still very excited to see it.
Okay, so that's our big trailer out this week. That was a wee sneak peek of it, but you can see the full trailer. It's up on Joe as well.
That backfired.
Oh, then he's going to come back and just hit me in the nose. Right, so now it's time for the big interview on the Big Reviewski, and one of the brand new releases I keep calling this a World War II movie, which is the stupidest thing in the world, because it's literally called 1917, which was a year during the First World War. But it is a brand new war movie. We were mentioning one take, or long takes basically there in A Quiet Place 2 trailer. This movie, shot by Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins, is basically one take from start, or one shot from start to finish.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Well, you tell us what the movie's about then.
Well, okay. It's two lads who discover that there is a terrible attack about to happen on close to 2,000 soldiers, and they have to get there in time to make sure that the attack doesn't happen. The entire film is told in a very limited space of time. For the most part, it is done in a single take, in that, you know, it'll go past a tree.
Yeah.
And we know the camera cut there and it continued recording after that. But it does give the illusion that it was a single take for most of the film. There's one or two bits where it does kind of fade to black and then come back up. So,
Okay.
But for most of it is that kind of Birdman-esque single take look.
Brilliant. So we've got a little look at 1917, the movie, first of all, directed by Sam Mendes. And then, this is exciting. We actually had the chance to sit down with Mr. Mendes himself. Oscar winning. And then the writer.
Krysty Wilson-Cairns, who has previously done what's the Penny Dreadful. And she's doing...
Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, Edgar Wright's new horror film.
I was going to pick that for our other answer.
For the other one. Doing another one. And and then the two actors.
Dean Charles Chapman, who was in Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And George MacKay, who was not in Game of Thrones.
Well, there you go. That's what he's got in his CV.
Yep.
So before we get to our chat with them, here's a little look at 1917, a movie that's not about World War II. It's actually about World War I. So there you go.
In your own time, gentlemen. Must be something big if the Channel's here.
You have a brother in the 2nd Battalion.
Yes, sir.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message calling off tomorrow morning's attack. If you fail, it will be a massacre.
We've got orders to cross here.
That is the German front line.
Hold back! If we're not clever about this, no one will get to your brother. I will.
So as we were saying earlier on about Tom Hanks and World War II movies, like, I'm a big fan of this genre anyway. Obviously, it's a mixed bag in terms of what you're going to get, but by all accounts, this one is supposed to be, especially with the style in which it's shot, like really immersive and an excellent watch as well. But one of the other cast members is Andrew Scott.
Yep.
Who's just a phenomenal actor, like Cillian Murphy as well. But,
And he worked with Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan. Andrew Scott was in it.
Holy moly.
That was his first film, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Tom Hanks just picking out Stephen Graham, Andrew Scott as well. But, Yes, so with 1917 and him starring in it, obviously the world has just fallen in love with Andrew Scott anyway.
Yep.
So inevitably, you obviously talk to them about.
Yeah, like you pointed out to me that Phoebe Waller-Bridge had just prior to when we were chatting about this film announced that Andrew Scott is the greatest actor of our generation, which is a claim to make.
Especially from her.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then she kind of followed up again this week or last week where she said he can generate sexual chemistry with a pebble, which is, I imagine, hard to do. But
I've seen some sexy pebbles.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
But so
Stay away from my beach.
you have a beach?
So much you don't know.
Jeepers. So yeah, like I pointed that out to Sam and Krysty and Dean and George, what she had said, and asked if they agreed. And this is what they had to say. It was all very positive, as it turns out. Everyone loves him. We thought everyone loved him. Everyone loves him.
Here's the proof.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge recently said that she reckons Andrew Scott is the greatest actor of our generation, and as a fellow Irishman,
Is that what she said?
well, we take a lot of pride whenever there's compliments dished our way. I was curious what your take on him.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, and you know he's so mercurial, and it's like watching a kind of one of those. It's like he's playing great jazz. You know what I mean? It's like he's improvising around a theme. So he's saying the lines as written, but not in any way in the way you would necessarily expect it. And yet he somehow also observes the structure of the whole.
Well, I was on set every day, and actually, I know we don't have favourites, but when I was writing
we're not
the
supposed
scene,
to.
we're not supposed to have favourites. But when I was writing that scene, I think Sam always had in mind that he was going to cast Andrew Scott as Lieutenant Leslie, and as soon as I knew that, when I was sitting down writing it, I was like, okay, okay, gloves are off. It was one of my favourite scenes to write, and to see it performed, he was unbelievable.
It was one of my favourite scenes.
It was right after. It was right after like the hot. We shot it a few days after the hot priest thing had aired as well.
Oh,
so
really?
Everyone on set was like, he's very good at everything. It's infuriating.
I loved his performance. I think he just literally looks like he's been there for 3 years on edge. He looks like he's so bored, and he's just like, look at these two idiots.
Yeah.
And again, Andrew Scott is brilliant. To work with him, and that character as well, Lieutenant Leslie, is one of my favourite characters in the whole film. Brilliant.
Yeah, he's a master as well. He's in theatre, film. He's one of those really mercurial actors that I think what's most exciting about him is whenever he comes on the screen, you don't know what to expect, and there's almost a level of danger in whatever he does, and that's exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I worked with him first on stage, and I've worked with him obviously on film as well before this. And he just gets better and better. That's the other thing. I mean, when you get to a certain status, there's a temptation to do your thing, to do your shtick, and to kind of repeat it in various. And he's always shifting, always changing. He's really a remarkable actor.
So they all love Andrew Scott, unsurprisingly.
They're only human.
Is to be loved.
Yeah.
I don't know a huge amount of World War I movies. Do you?
Personally?
Acquaintances, but we're not real good friends.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
It is a war that seems mostly, compared to World War II anyway, kind of untapped.
Yes.
And 1917, to be fair, doesn't really try too hard either to get into the depths of the war. It's mostly a ticking clock thriller, whereas like you got two guys here who need to get over there in this amount of time, or bad things will happen, and the whole time they're escaping death and running into other famous English actors along the way, because it's like Irish actors. Sorry,
That's what it was like during the war.
It must have been.
Yeah.
Just scattered.
Another
across.
famous actor. Unbelievable.
What are you doing here? So on top of Andrew Scott, there was Benedict Cumberbatch. There's Mark Strong. There's Colin Firth. Like there's
incredible
a lot of
cast.
Yeah, really, really. Great actors, and the two leads are really, really good in it. And Deacon's, I mean, just to see the world through his eyes, it's just, he's so talented, and it is properly beautiful to watch. And it's really good when there's someone who's brilliant and at the top of their game, and in a film like this, where they're like, I'm going to try something that I haven't done before, just because I can. And he can, and he does, and it looks great. And it's good to see Mendes. The Spectre wasn't great.
No, I think he was working on.
And if you look back even at Skyfall, most of the reason why I love Skyfall is because of Roger Deakins, because it looks beautiful, but the plot is just kind of.
The last half hour of Skyfall, really, you end on a good note leaving the cinema.
Yeah, because it's like beautiful Home Alone in Scotland. So it does a lot to like, and pretty much all of it is the technical stuff. And if you're even remotely cinema savvy, you'll notice when it goes like past that tree, past that big rock, you'll be like, "Well, that's where the cut was," and it can be a little bit tough to turn that bit of your brain off.
Yeah.
As you're watching it, but it's very, very tense, and it's doesn't have like an ounce of fat in it at all. And one of the younger Fenders is in it.
Chris Wally.
Chris Wally, yeah.
He's in there too, yeah. So he's another famous person that's hanging around the World War. But yeah, no, it is. I highly recommend it. Go to see it on a big, loud screen because it's a proper like cinematic movie. Yeah, first proper great movie of 2020, 1917.
1917, because Cats came out last year.
Just missed.
By this much.
By a whisker.
That was the runner-up for the Golden Globe, I've heard, Cats. Yeah,
of
just
every
one
single
vote
Golden
away.
Globe.
It didn't even win Best Cat Movie.
It's so nuts. It's so bonkers. Anyway, moving from Cats to Rabbits, JoJo Rabbit is also out in cinemas already.
That was good.
This was decent. You get one a year, and that's it.
Shit.
Completely wasted it. So JoJo Rabbit is the brand new release from, we all love him, Taika Waititi, but Paul, he does have a special place in your pants.
He does, even when he's dressed as Hitler himself.
Yeah.
He's too damn charismatic.
Yeah, so in this one he plays an imaginary version of Adolf Hitler, who's the imaginary friend of a young guy in basically the Nazi youth towards the end of the Second World War. And as we said, whenever the trailer for this was released, the two little boys who are best friends look like a young Simon Pegg and a young Nick Frost as well, which would be amazing casting for any kind of space prequel. Yeah, exactly. But so in this movie, the young boy is a fanatic in Hitler's youth, but then obviously comes across a particular problem when he discovers that his mother has been hiding a young Jewish girl upstairs in the attic. So here's a little look at JoJo Rabbit.
I don't think I can do this.
Was? Of course you can.
Aber dann kamst du.
When I was your age, I had an imaginary friend. Got me in so much trouble.
Kids, it's time to burn some books.
You're growing up too fast. 10-year-olds shouldn't be celebrating war and talking politics.
Heil Hitler. I wish more of our young boys had your blind fanaticism.
Did you know Jews can read each other's minds?
But how would you know if you saw one? They could look just like us. Hi.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this. I think I picked it out as one of my films to watch in 2020. I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it as much as I love Boy. I love Hunt for Wilder People. I love What We Do in the Shadows. I love Thor. Yeah, I think with Hunt for Wilder People especially, and Boy, his first film, what I really like is that they're very, very funny, but they also have little moments in it that kind of are emotional, and they're the ones that stay with you. And having the little bit of emotion brings the comedy out, the flavour a lot more. And the ratio is kind of in those films about 80% laughs, 20% pathos. And that's why I think they work. Whereas this one, I think the balance is, he's striking for more 50-50. Obviously it's a satire, it's a heightened sense of reality, and like he plays Hitler himself, kind of like a Looney Tunes character. But some of the jokes landed for me and some of them just fell a bit flat, I found. In terms of performances though, I thought it was great. I thought Scarlett Johansson, I can't remember her being that good in something in a while now. Obviously, the Marvel films are different, but they don't require a certain degree of acting. Marriage Story. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Marriage Story. She's great.
Number one Joe film.
But she was excellent in it. Sam Rockwell clearly having a blast as well.
Yeah.
But you still can't shake the fact that he is a Nazi as well. So like you're always kind of remind that at the time. We were mentioning the kids. Archie Yates as Yorkie, I thought was great. But no, it's a bit uneven, and there are times when, okay, it's great that the message is that like, oh, love trumps all and stuff like that, but it's hammered home a bit too often for my taste and not as subtle as some of the other films he's done before. And I really enjoyed it. I'm glad it was made. I think only he could have made a film this off the wall and nuts. But I just didn't love it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it. I'd recommend it. But in terms of his other work, I think it's not his best stuff I've seen anyway.
Are you and Taika fighting?
Are you on a
Is
break?
everything all right? Are you on a break?
Well, he's dressed up in Hitler, like, you know.
Well, that'll
when he
do
shaves
it.
the mustache, then I'll fall back in love with him. But he's good in it, actually, because it's like dialed up to 100, the performance.
He's a complete caricature, basically, which is funny. I actually, like you were saying, Sam Rockwell was my favourite character in it, apart from the two kids as well, the two young boys. Scarlett Johansson puts in a brilliant performance as well. But I know what you mean about the balance not feeling quite right in terms of the tone of what it was kind of trying to hit as well, because it started off really like a massive parody, basically, and then kind of settled more into a more dramatic kind of film as well.
The scenes when he you mentioned in the description when he meets the young girl, they were very, very down the middle drama. There wasn't anything funny about them. And then like the bit when Merchant comes in later, he's kind of this SS guard. You kind of laugh at him because you know him and stuff, but that character just didn't fit with her arc and stuff like that. There's a lot of just stuff that doesn't sync up between the comedy and the drama stuff. But when it does, it's very good. But kind of I wouldn't describe it a miss, an honourable attempt, I'd call it. Yeah.
I'm surprised at how much awards attention it's getting. Because initially I was like, ooh, it's a bit quirky for any award ceremony. And then having watched it, I was like, oh, it's not great. It's good. But it's not great. But the amount of, like, it got a fair few Golden Globe nominations.
I got 6 BAFTAs today, I think, as well.
So it's just, it's bizarre that whatever it's putting out, the three of us are not entirely picking it up.
We like it, but we don't love it. And especially, as you said, the excitement that would surround a release from Taika Waititi as well. Is he directing the new Thor movie as well?
Love and Thunder, that's next one.
Who was just announced for that?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale linked to it, I think.
Or linked to it as well.
Announced,
but no, as you said, it's just because you expect such a high standard of movie.
Although the kind of unsaid bond between Alfie Allen and Sam Rockwell was very funny.
No, that's a brilliant recurring.
And there's a moment in it that will that streaks you from nowhere. It's like, oh my god, and then you're pulled to your heartstrings. But it doesn't all fit together well. But there are moments that kind of stand out between laughter and humour, but it just doesn't strike that balance, which is very hard to do.
But even when Taika Waititi, when somebody like him makes a movie that is, that we do like and it's grand, it's still usually better than most other things that people are making anyway. Speaking of most other things, The Gentleman is also
you really
out
do
in
only
movies.
get one good segue.
Ah, come on, that wasn't that. Was it not? Do you think that was terrible,
Speaking of most other things.
Yeah, it's a pretty generic one, so it is. Just keeping it vague. Anyway, The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie's brand new movie, is also out in cinemas at the moment. Before we hear Rory's review of it, whatever segue he comes up with, here's a little look at it.
I want you to imagine a character. Your boss, Mickey Pearson.
You're too smart to be blackmailing us, Fletcher.
Sweet Mary Jane is my vice. Your poison, on the other hand, is and always has been the destroyer of worlds.
You're out of touch, and I would like you to consider an offer.
I am not for sale.
So first things first.
Yep.
Big strike against the film. Everyone's just really unattractive.
I can see that just having a look at the trailer there. So we've got Hugh Grant.
Well, that's not a great start. So, for my joke anyway, so it's like McConaughey, Henry Golding, Charlie Hunnam, Michelle, is it Doherty? She was in
She's Dockery.
Doherty.
No, she's Dockery. Dockery. Dockery.
Okie dokery.
I think we touched on a sore subject there.
Downton Abbey.
Yeah,
that's her.
Yeah.
Codal Farrell.
Codal
Farrell's in there.
Hugh Grant.
And Hugh Grant. So, it's a Guy Ritchie written, directed. It really feels like he was spring cleaning and was like, we wrote this in 1994.
Okay.
And do we need to update this maybe for a slightly more woke guy? Nah, we just leave in the casual race. Oh, the other guy who's in Succession.
Oh, Jeremy Strong.
Yes, he's in there too. No, we'll just leave in the casual racism. So there is a problem.
Okay.
But it's also very entertaining.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, it's a crime thriller like double crosses. There's no point in me going through the plot. It's basically Hugh Grant and Charlie.
Well, I was going to say,
Charlie
what's it
Hunnam.
about?
I just said there's no point.
What's it about, Rory?
Gentlemen.
McConaughey owns a drug empire.
Just the plot.
And he's
Just a
trying
quick summary of the plot.
Sell it.
Hit it.
And in the midst of him trying to sell his drug empire, he finds that both friends and enemies are potentially going to double cross him to make a lot of money. And Hugh Grant is a journalist / private detective who has discovered the entire plot and is recounting it to Charlie Hunnam, who is McConaughey's second in command. But he's actually recounting it to us.
To us. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, it's very, very funny. It rattles along. It's never boring. Hugh Grant, between this and Paddington 2.
Paddington 2, yeah.
Oh my God. Like, he should only be supporting characters with the opportunity to do crazy accents all the time, because he has this weird middle England accent in this that is perfect. Like, I know who that person is. I've heard him talking. Colin Farrell's another highlight in there, playing a boxing instructor who has a load of talented boxers who work underneath him, and he ends up getting dragged into the gang thing as well. He clearly is slightly inspired by McGregor, which again.
Oh, interesting.
Just
okay. Slightly problematic.
Again, that's all I could say. It's like, it's really entertaining. Problematic.
Okay. I was expecting this to be a big pile of poo, basically.
Yeah.
Just because, like, well, what's Guy Ritchie? Like, King Arthur was
he's hit and miss. Yeah.
And Aladdin as well, of course. So
then was it Sherlock Holmes for that as well, the sequel to that?
Yeah, so he's hit and miss every so often. So, okay, but it's good to hear it's entertaining, but not so good to hear that it's problematic as well.
Yeah, like there's very when Hugh Grant is talking about Henry Golding's character, he puts on a just shocking, like, Mickey Rooney-esque accent. You're like, whoa, what? Yeah.
But Hugh Grant does seem to be, apart from that, between the roles that he's choosing, like Paddington 2 and like this as well, he's just enjoying himself at the minute, like just having a lot of crack with, like, I'm going to just play some fun parts.
Yeah, because he had fun in Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well, which was also Guy Ritchie, which I actually kind of liked.
Yeah. Okay, so The Gentleman, out in Omniplex cinemas right now, this very minute. So a decent selection of movies there. And as well, as we said, the best of the rest. I absolutely loved Little Women. Did you like it?
Oh, the film? Yes.
Yes. Did you get a chance?
I haven't seen it. I'll go see it in my Omniplex cinema.
Highly recommend it, because you got Greta Gerwig and Saoirse Ronan reunited after...
And Florence Pugh, who just can do no wrong at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a really strong finish to the year for them as well. Knives Out is still out as well, which is a whole lot of fun.
There's an indie from J.J. Abrams.
Oh, yes.
It's doing all right, yeah.
Yeah, it's doing decent.
Yeah,
it's doing decent.
Okay.
But, yes, so plenty to go and choose from there. Right, 1917. Looking forward to that one. Now it's time for the competition on the Big Reviewski, and as ever, we're back in 2020 with a clean slate of high clues. We didn't give one out at the end of last year. We decided to give everybody's brain a little break, so you're welcome.
A 3-week cliffhanger is just cruel.
It's massively cruel, and I couldn't be bothered to come up with another one at the time. I just wanted a wee break. That's it. I just wanted to rest. But I have come back. What was that one?
It's a mountain hanger. Bigger than the cliff. It'll have to be.
Listen, someone had to get the first X of the year. So
yes, I'm so happy it wasn't
me. And after a gentleman segue, he didn't get it.
That wasn't a joke, though. I'm not sure what that was. That was just bad hosting.
Anyway, as we said, it's New Year, new high clue. So we have tickets to give away to see Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan. Who else is in there?
Jamie Foxx and Brie Larson.
Of course. So a phenomenal cast. Who's won Oscars there? Both Jamie Foxx and
Brie Larson.
So Michael B. Jordan, come on. Pull the finger out here. Up the game. He might be nominated for this one. You never know. So he plays a young defence attorney It's based on a true story. His name is Brian Stevenson, and he is tasked with defending Jamie Foxx's character, who's basically been convicted of murder. And that's the story. But we have a very special preview screening coming up next week, and we've got tickets that we want to give away to you. Yep, you right there. I'm pointing at you. And if you're listening, yep, the cameraman. Ian, you're up. But we do have this week's High Clue. So, brains at the ready. The first one of 2020.
Gosh,
let's see.
And I'll give you a wee hint. I'll give you a wee gift.
It's a film.
It's a movie.
Yeah,
it certainly is. So this week's one is Heavenly Cottage, Two Special Relationships, Watson's Widower. Those 3 lines again. Heavenly Cottage, Two Special Relationships, Watson's Widower. And the final line is Watson's, it's Watson apostrophe S Widower. Rory, you rolled your eyes and almost threw your cards across the room. What are you so annoyed at? Why did you come into 2020 full of anger?
Why'd you come in with the simplest High Clue?
I'm just trying to make it like a nice kind of ease
Warm
ourselves
into the year.
We're trying to get their brains going. We want them to come back and be like, I want tickets to the premiere. This is...
And they'll get them. This is too easy
They definitely will get them.
Too easy in your opinion.
Gosh.
I'm going to give them a gift as well. I'm going to give everybody a gift.
Is it the
You're
title?
welcome. Oh, I better not give the title out. It is, seeing as it is the start of a new year, it's slightly New Year's themed as well. For everybody's listening, I'm winking at you. So, yeah, pretty much. Heavenly Cottage, Two Special Relationships, Watson's Widower. That's this week's High Clue. So do send us the answer. You can, as we said, tweet us at Big Reviewski, or you can get in touch on Instagram and Facebook as well. And yeah, we'll let you know who has won the tickets. So that's that. Coming up on next week's show, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad Boys for Life is out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Future Oscar winner.
Future Oscar winner, starring Will Smith and somebody who looks like Martin Lawrence as well. So they're going to be in that movie. Excited to hear what that one's going to be like.
It's going to get real.
Can I admit something?
SH1T is going to get real.
I've never seen Bad Boys 2.
Oh, that's okay.
But I'm going to watch it between now and this one coming out, obviously.
It's, speaking of entertaining and problematic.
And extremely problematic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some real, you can't say that today.
Right.
Issues in that one.
Okie dokie. Well, I will give it a wee watch and see what the crack is. Have you enjoyed your first show back?
Everything except the segues, yeah.
Okay.
Have been pretty good.
Paul?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah,
good.
Great.
There we are with that word. We're just good.
Good.
We're off to.
Did you get that dictionary for Christmas too?
The good dictionary.
The good dictionary.
We're off to a good start. We will have lovely Justine Stafford will be around here somewhere next week as well. So looking forward to that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, Justine, if you're out there.
I don't know which celebrity she's run away with.
Heartbreaking at the moment.
Yeah.
Paul, I hope it works out for you and Taika Waititi as well.
We'll be okay. We have decades of a solid relationship. Yeah. One bump in the road's not going to change that.
Rory, I know that your love with John Krasinski is unbreakable and unshakable. So I hope you're very happy together.
Me, John and Emily, very happy in our throuple.
The three of
them. Their little house in Cork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
not making any noise.
Well.
Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. It's wonderful to see you and talk to you again. And we will see you all next week. Bye. See ya.